This is the rule that ruined research. It's simple, really, just this. But its profound impact dates back to the 1930s, where Sir Ronald Aylmer Fisher, a statistician, made a simple suggestion. In every experiment, a p-value shows the probability that a change in results between the experimental setup and the control setup was actually down to chance, rather than significant. The problem at the time was where people wondered how low a probability would be for the result to be considered significant or discounted altogether. Fisher made a suggestion that if the result had a p-value less than 5%, it would be considered significant and not up to chance. Alas, this threshold was completely arbitrary. There's really nothing scientific or objective to show that 5% is the magic number. It would clearly be better to state the p-value and let the reader make his own judgment, but 5% is just way too convenient to ignore. This has resulted in gaming the system, which can be clearly seen in a study by the Walton School, University of Pennsylvania, where research papers tend to have p-values that concentrate unusually, strangely close to 5%. Something so widespread it is known in the research community as p-hacking. In the link on screen and in the description, you can try a reputable polling site to emulate a scientist who p-hacks to prove his hypothesis. When marketing Vioxx, Merck conducted an experiment that went against their ideals and mainly showed that the product actually killed 8 people of heart attacks, while the alternative, naproxen, only killed 1. They eliminated deaths by making excuses until only 5 deaths were counted. Then they declared that the p-value was above 5% and it's actually all down to chance. Vioxx stayed on the shelves for 5 more years and went on to kill 38,000 or so more prescriptions by heart attack. Another issue is how this data is reported in media. Fisher's guideline is to deduce statistical significance, but this can be conflated easily with practical significance. Just because something has a good chance in experiment to actually be true does not mean that it is a huge effect. Like a huge microscope, large samples of people are able to detect minute but nonetheless statistically significant differences that are really of no practical interest at all. There have been multiple attacks over the years on the rule since then, most well known by Stanford professor John Ioannidis in 2005, which is why most published research findings are false. So, is this pernicious scientific practice going to peter out anytime soon? Well, people are still all the rage about it, so I say that the chances of this disappearing anytime soon are less than 5%.